All right, joining us today is Poughkeepsie's own The Now, Vic Dalishus and Hale Collins. Guys, how's it going?
I think we might be the most recurring guest you have, right?
I think this is the triple. This is the three-peat, right? The third time's the charm.
Yes, three-peat.
Now, guys, like I said, we've had you on before. We learned about your past on the other episodes. But right now, no pun intended, we're going to look ahead to this weekend with Northeast Wrestling. Yeah, you guys have a few matches going on. But most importantly, you have a tag team title shot happening this weekend, which we'll talk in a few minutes. But tell me, guys, how has it felt to return to Northeast Wrestling this past year and just to get back into the mix of things with them?
I think it's been absolutely incredible. The one thing that we wanted to do when we decided to make another run at this whole thing was we wanted to be tag team champions. So getting the opportunity to do that with Northeast Wrestling and everything that we've done with them so far has been with that goal in mind. So to have that be within our grasp with this weekend, it's pretty exciting stuff.
It was cool coming back, and I saw a lot of new faces that I never even met before, which is kind of cool. So so far it's been a great experience.
The fan base is still there, though, guys. When you guys came back, the Now fans were still there chanting for you. They're glad that you're back. But speaking of, you guys were the team of teams in Northeast Wrestling just a few short years ago. But since then, Northeast Wrestling has acquired some new teams, some competition out there for you guys now, if you will. Tell me about some of the guys that you faced already throughout the past year or whatnot since you came back, and your thoughts on them, including the current champions, So Over, and who you're going to be facing this weekend.
I remember distinctly sitting at the Dutchess Stadium, and it was before the show had even started. We were sitting there doing the autograph, the meet and greet with everyone. And I remember sitting at the table, and me and Hale were meeting people, doing the whole thing. And I looked across from me, directly across, and there was two guys standing at a table with the Northeast Wrestling tag team titles on the table right in front of them. And I had wrestled Jimmy Preston a long time ago, but not, certainly not in my most recent memory. And I couldn't believe, number one, how beautiful the belts were, because the Northeast Wrestling didn't have tag team titles when we were there, and we had begged and begged and begged for there to be tag team championships, but it just wasn't in the cards in our first run with Northeast. But then I just sat there and I kind of was just sizing those guys up. And then that night we had a match with the Battle Brothers, which turned into a violent feud, basically, and one that we haven't lost at all. But we've had a chance to be in there with the Battle Brothers. We've also had a chance to be in there with Adrenaline Rush, and those are the two other teams that are a part of the Fatal 4-Way that we have this weekend. And I'm very impressed with Adrenaline Rush. Those guys have a ton of charisma, a ton of attitude, and a ton of passion to try and get there. But the fact of the matter is that they're not us. And the Battle Brothers have already lost to us several times. So our biggest competition would have to be So Over, because we've never been in the ring with them. But I kind of feel like they've been running from us. I kind of feel like they're a little bit scared, and judging by their interviews and their promos, it kind of seems like they're a little bit afraid of us. And I know that that's Hale's favorite part of this entire thing, is that he knows they're afraid of us.
I would have to agree with you there on that one, because every time we go to a show, they're not there. So it's like they're definitely hiding from us. But see, let me ask you a question. Now, out of all these teams that you see in Northeast Wrestling now, do you really think they're in our league? When you look at the tag teams that we're in the ring with now, do you think that we belong in the ring with them, or do they belong in the ring with us? Do you think this is an equally challenged matchup? Now, let me know your thoughts about it.
Well, I'll tell you this: from seeing the Now return when you guys were in Newburgh last year, to seeing the teams throughout the past few years, I've come to know them a lot more than just seeing them once. So seeing them compared to that, and I may be a little bit biased being from New York and Poughkeepsie area, but I'll tell you what. The Now, I don't think, has lost a step since you guys have left and returned to Northeast Wrestling. I definitely think you guys are still at the top of the ladder as far as tag teams go in the Northeast over here. So I think, you guys have, not being biased, but a better shot out of all these teams this weekend to capture the tag team championships. But guys, I got to ask you too, in your own words, because people may know Adrenaline Rush or the Battle Brothers or So Over. For some of the fans who may not know the Now from the New York area, what makes the Now better than any tag team out there today?
Experience, number one. We've been doing this collectively. I'm on 16 years. Hale's on 17 years in this business doing, singles and tag team wrestling. So if there's anything that sets us apart from all of these other guys, it's the amount of experience that we've had. Nobody can compare with us with the places that we've been, the people that we've wrestled, the experiences that we've had. Absolutely nobody can compare with us. That's number one that sets us apart. Number two, we're actually legitimately really good friends. We're best friends. We talk to each other multiple times every single day. We know, I was best man at his wedding. He's been right there with me through the birth of my kids. Like, we're right there as actual tag team partners. So the thing that sets us apart from all these other guys is that, yeah, they're teams, but they're not really a tag team in the true sense of the word. We know everything about each other. We know what we're going to do. We have a plan going into every single match. We know what the other one's going to do before the other one even does it. We are at the point of perfection right now. We are at the peak of our game. Like, we're only in our early 30s, guys. Like, we're not old dinosaurs. Like, we started this when we were very, very young. And we're in our prime right now. We're not past our prime. We are in our prime now. So that's a pretty dangerous thing for everybody else to have to come up against. And I'm not being cocky, and I'm not being really braggadocious here, but I really feel that everybody else doesn't hold a candle to the experience that we have, and the fact that we're in our athletic prime, and the fact that we are really a legitimate tag team, and we really, really, really want those belts. I feel that that's one of the top achievements in my professional wrestling career. I want those championship belts. I need that as a notch on my career. I need that 100% gratification. There's nothing about having that championship opportunity that I take for granted. I absolutely, positively, I'm leaving at home a 1.5-week-old baby that I just had to go out there and fight for those belts. So I'm not taking this for granted, and I'm not taking it lightly. I want those belts.
If you could sum up the tag team, what would you say in your own words? So why is the Now better than any of these tag teams out there?
Well, Vic said the best, but like I said, I can look at Vic when he's on the apron and know exactly what he's thinking without even verbally discussing it. So with that going forward, like I know everything, what he's thinking, knows what I'm thinking. Like you said, the experience is there. But also, like, what separates me from the other tag teams is that, like, I don't really like any of them. On a personal level, I just don't like any of them. I mean, the Keith Youngblood guy, he's pretty cool. Like, he's all right. He's very respectful and, like, really wants to, like, make it in wrestling, and he's always wanting to learn stuff like that. But the fact is, like, I look across the ring and I'm like, really, guys? Do you guys even work out? Where'd you get your gear? Like, all this stuff. Like, I don't care, and I'm going to run through them. And I know the Battle Brothers are brothers, and they know each other really well, too, and all that stuff, but are they really physically able to take on us?
Well, I'll tell you guys, from an outsider looking in, you mentioned you're in your early 30s, but I'll tell you guys, I've seen you for years now, and you look to be in the best shape of your careers from what I've seen you the past few years. Vic, you're in incredible shape. I think you've even lost weight since the first time I've seen you compete in Poughkeepsie. How do you guys feel, though? I mean, you're definitely in, I think, a lot better shape than most of your opponents this weekend.
We took this run that we're on very, very seriously. And when we decided last April that last March that we were going to come back to Northeast Wrestling, we had just kind of started taking it very much more seriously. It was a little over a year ago. In that last year, I've lost 100 pounds.
Wow.
I have
120.
Maybe it's 120. Who knows? I stopped counting after 100. I literally have, I've changed everything about who I am and what I do. And I had gone through a period in my life where it was very hard for me to get over the fact that I didn't make it to the level that I wanted to make it to in professional wrestling. I had come very close in WWE to becoming a contracted superstar. I had come very close to getting everything that I ever wanted, and it all slipped right through my fingers. And it was very hard for me to get over that. And it took me a very long time. And establishing a professional wrestling school and building our brand with House of Hardcore, that was one step in the whole process. But we also had stepped away from Northeast Wrestling and felt like that part of our career was never settled. There was always a part of us that felt we had unfinished business there. And when we decided we were going to come back and we were going to do this now thing and take it to the max, losing all this weight and getting back in shape and really feeling like we could hang with the best of the best, that wasn't something that we took lightly. And I feel like I could go in there right now with the best professional wrestling competition has to offer and totally hang. And that's not something I would have said a year ago with all the confidence in my voice. Like I really feel that right now we are as good as we could possibly be and ready for this opportunity. So we're not taking it lightly at all. And the thing that we've changed over the last year, we used to be the guys that wanted to go out and have the best time and party it up and do all that stuff. And we don't take that, we don't take those opportunities as much anymore. And we kind of take it a little more seriously, and we know what we have in front of us. And within the blink of an eye, this whole professional wrestling thing could be gone. So every chance that we have to go out there and do this, we want to make sure we make the best of it, because that's the absolute true essence of living in the now, is because you don't know what tomorrow brings and you don't know what will be in the future. All that you got is right now. And it really took a lot of looking inside ourselves and really bringing this whole thing into perspective to realizing like why we'd even been on this journey in the first place, knowing that we live in the now and we're the guys that exemplify that. It's actually like, it's really cool that we've had this whole gimmick this whole time. And when it turns out that a gimmick is how you should be living your whole life anyway, that's pretty damn cool.
Sure. Hale, what do you think? It says, this Sunday you have that first opportunity to bring those belts to Nowville. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's definitely the missing piece of the puzzle. Like when we were arrested for Northeast Wrestling years ago, they didn't even have tag belts, and we always were like, hey, you should get tag belts because we are the best tag team in Northeast Wrestling, and we really want to represent, the company we are your tag team, the tag team. Put us up against anybody, we will beat them. We survive. We will wrestle to the end. And it's finally happening, years later, and it's kind of surreal because this is what we wanted since day one in Northeast Wrestling, was tag team championship belts. Just to show, just to have a trophy of we are the best. So it's finally happening. It's really cool. We have a couple of people in our way. We're just going to go right through them, and nothing's going to stop us until we have those tag belts around our waist. Nothing is going to stop us.
Definitely. Now, guys, I want to play devil's advocate a little bit, and let's say you don't win Sunday. What do you think the other teams will take away from having faced you that night?
That they got lucky.
Fear. Yeah, definitely that they got lucky. I agree with that.
Yeah. That's really all it really is. I mean, I'll see that.
And fear. And fear. I there's no way that those guys could ever possibly think that they could beat us straight up. So whatever happens on Sunday, and it's going to kill me to walk out of that building without those belts if it happens, because to have them on the line and have them be right in front of our face and to not get them, you'd almost have to, you're going to have to kill me to not get those belts, because I'm not going to tap out. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop. The big variable is that it's a 4-way. So there's other guys who could get pinned, or, they could lose the match or win the match that we don't have any control over. But if we can do our best to stay in there, to stay part of the action and not let anybody else really become part of the mix, that's what we're going to try and do. That's a strategy right now. That's our goal, is to not let that happen. But if it does happen, I know that there's only so far they can go.
Yeah, but there's no way we're not going to win.
Well, guys, I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck this weekend. And for the fans listening out there, too, where can they keep up with you in the social media universe?
Steve, will you be there this weekend?
I will be there, both shows.
Nice.
Well, since Hale got to interview you, I thought I'd interview you real fast.
Yes, AWP will be in the house.
Well, that's awesome.
Yes.
I look forward to it. That's fantastic. You can find us on social media. I'm on Twitter at Dalishus, VIKDALISHUS, and then we have Hale at Hale_Collins on Twitter, and you can also find us on Facebook at Vik Hale HALE. We share a Twitter account, so you're able to, or share a Facebook account, so you're able to talk to the both of us on there. Check out our pictures, check out our upcoming events, all that good stuff.
Nice.
And see where we're going to be, because we're going to be all over the place over the next 3 months. We have some of the most bookings that we've had in a very long time coming up. The next 3 months are very busy.
Yeah, I think we're booked almost every weekend.
Yeah. Jeez. And if you want to see Vic Dalishus and Hale Collins, the Now, in your area, make sure that you tell a promoter, shout us out, do hashtag the Now. We would love to be in some new places. We would love to do some traveling. We'd love to check out some places that we've never been to. There's a lot of really hot independent promotions going on right now. I think independent wrestling is at its crescendo right now. There's so much going on in independent professional wrestling across the United States, across England, Japan, Ireland. I mean, there's a lot of really cool places, and we want to take on the best. So if you think there's a tag team in your area that's looking for competition, we'd love to be there. Please shout us out.
100%.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you this weekend.
Yes, and we'll make sure you get the first picture with our shiny new tag team titles.